Whenever Indians anywhere in the world have been in any kind of danger, be it war related, political, or medical, one airline has always risen up to the occasion and saved thousands of lives and reunited hundreds of families. That one airline is Air India. And this is Cockpit Stories, Episode 4. Alright guys, so just a quick update before we continue. So first of all, a big congratulations to all of my students who cleared their exams in the last AGCA attempt. You guys deserved it. Good, well done. Also, if you guys want to join us and start your career in aviation, admissions for the April attempt are open. Feel free to join us. And in case you guys are completing your class 12 boards in March, drop a call on the numbers in the description or on the screen right now, and we'll help you get started with your career in aviation and we'll help you become a pilot. So we all know how the coronavirus has been spreading. Thousands of people have been killed and I don't know how many have been affected by it. As a result, whole of China has been shut down from the rest of the world to prevent the spread of the virus. Now as a result, a lot of Indians who were stuck there in Wuhan, which is the epicenter for the coronavirus, they had no hopes of coming out and coming back home to India. Now these students or these businessmen were stuck in Wuhan, but Air India, along with the Indian government, rose to the occasion. They took special permissions to carry these Indians back to India. 2 of the aging 747s of Air India were deployed and 647 Indians and 7 Maldivians were rescued from China and they were brought back to India. But this is a recent one, so we all know about it. But this is not the first time Air India has helped its citizens. There have been instances in the past where Air India went out of its way and helped Indians come back home from war-torn countries, from civil wars, from medical emergencies, so on and so forth. Back in 1990, when Saddam Hussein launched an attack on Kuwait, 170,000 Indians were stuck in the middle of a severe and a very bitter war. Cities were looted left, right and center by the Iraqi army, and the soldiers committed really bad atrocities on citizens of Kuwait as well as the Indians who were stuck there. So those Indians had to be brought back home and the Indian government stood up to the task. So initially what the government did was they deployed military aircrafts to Kuwait. Now the problem with that was military aircrafts require special clearances to go to other countries. Otherwise they're not allowed. And getting those special clearances in a war-torn country is really tough. So the government turned towards one airline, Air India. So Air India did the unimaginable feat of operating 488 flights over a period of 59 days, and they evacuated 170,000 Indians from Kuwait to Mumbai. This was the world's largest and most successful evacuation ever. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but Airlift, a movie starring Akshay Kumar, it narrates the story of the Kuwait evacuations really nicely. So in case you guys haven't, you can always watch the movie. So back in 2006, the tensions between Lebanon and Israel were increasing, and caught in between this civil war were 2,300 Indian, Nepali and Sri Lankan citizens. So these people had no hopes of coming back home except the government. So the Indian government took a stand. It decided to evacuate these people back to the country. But it was a very complicated process because one, the whole area was war-torn. Secondly, it required very high level of licensing between the Indian High Commission and the local officials. So however, the required permits were sought and the Indians, the Nepalis and the Sri Lankans, they were all transported from Lebanon to Damascus in Syria. Reason was the Indian Navy ships could not reach Lebanon because Israel had blocked the naval borders for the country. So people were transported by road to Damascus. From Damascus, the Indian Navy picked up those people and transported them to Cyprus, where the Air India aircrafts, obviously Air India, the Air India airplanes were waiting for them and the aircrafts flew the Indians back to their home country. So this was one of the most complicated evacuations ever. So this is a recent one. In April 2015, a civil war broke out in Yemen, and the war was getting worse because Saudi Arabia and all of its allies had joined the war. So this resulted in the lives of people of 42 different nationalities being in danger. So they all had to be evacuated because they had no other place to go. And guess who stood up for them? It was Indian government, the Indian military, and of course Air India. So these three teamed up and they evacuated 4,640 Indians and 960 people from 41 different nations out from the war-torn cities of Yemen to the safety of their own home countries or India. Since Yemen was a no-fly zone, our aircrafts could not directly fly into Yemen and pick up the citizens. As a result, the Indian Navy warships picked up the people and moved them to a nearby city of Djibouti in the Horn of Africa. So from there, the people were initially flown out on Indian Air Force C-17 Globemaster airplanes and eventually on Air India aircrafts back to the safety of our own country, India. So this operation, known as Operation Rahat, was very successfully executed under the guidance of then Foreign Minister General V.K. Singh. Many of you might know him, and the operation was internationally acclaimed because we ended up evacuating people from so many different countries. And not just India, even Pakistan, they evacuated 11 of our own citizens from Yemen and brought them back to India. Good job there, Pakistan. So, the next time you guys sit on board an Air India aircraft, or you talk about Air India and you call them names, or you give them abuses, or you do any of this shit.
Open the door, loser!
Or any of this shit.
If I say boycott, fucking Air India, done. If I say
just remember what the national carrier has done for us. Air India is our India's representative in the airline world. They represent our country, so be respectful and be grateful for whatever Air Indians have done for us. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it around, show it to your Air India friends. Also, tell me in the comments what your experiences with Air India have been. Good or bad, both are fine. So this is your boy Tapesh Kumar signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.